as well. Malphite copped a little bit of a nerf, but they're just going to go up against the Camille with that one. Can be dangerous considering. Yeah. When we're talking about when we're talking about UCal, we'll talk about 2018. When we're talking about Blank, we'll talk about 2020 over in Japan. As we've got a bit of a flash in here, as Croco just going to be obliterated. Samira locks down the dragon, and I don't know why Croco stood there. I actually wasn't about to get hyped. And getting towards that Trinity Force very, very quickly as well, where he will have that huge damage spike. UCal running away from Summit here. As you can see, Zeus off to the side. It's a bit of a bait here set up. Gravity Field is fantastic. As Summit's going down incredibly low. The Emperor's Divide wasn't actually great. Sort of regrouped KT for them as Summit will burn down. But in the end, it is going to be a trade.
Yeah, trade-off is when you do get traded like that, then Doran gets another full clear, gets a turret plate, and so, you know, it's hard to argue whether that was a good trade for someone. It was a good rotation there, even with the kills being even, because of the value gained there in the top lane for Doran. They get a Drake for it, and it is going to be that Infernal Soul coming up soon.
Ooh, an exciting soul. I'm not used to these. It's all just cloudy when it comes to my experiences in the LCK, so I'm very, very excited now. 2,000 gold is the lead for KT, but like you say, Liiv SANDBOX being able to secure the Drake earlier is going to be helpful. Hextech Ultimatum here towards the top side as Summit says, I'm going to move slightly southwest. And that is going to save his life.
Going to get all these plates. So the Rift Herald again, going to funnel some more gold into Doran. And it's been, you know, the story of
taking more money on the map. So as time goes on and, you know, 10 minutes into the future, I'm going to hold that thought as Doran going down to about half health, has to flash to get himself out. Croco right over there, and Hextech Ultimatum, he's going to burn down in the sky.
Because they know that's the only place he can rotate, and they just catch him on his rotation towards the mid lane there. Knowing that, like, he's not going to be able to stay there and he has to go elsewhere, and he's not going to go back because he's playing extremely greedy, super ahead. Just find him out. Catch him out there, and they're going to get the Rift Herald for it. They're going to be able to trade this turret back. Not going to get the plates, obviously, but, you know, they're coming back here a little bit.
Yeah, local gold going to be important as well, as Root is going to be able to grab that one for himself. Liiv SANDBOX push the mid lane. Hybrid can, of course, make it over with the Killer Instinct if he needs to, because we've got a lot of posturing here for the first Infernal Drake of the game.
Yeah, it's going to be KT trying to grab this blue away, but as they do, Drake party goes back over to Liiv SANDBOX. Look at Hybrid's positioning here, though. He's getting a lot of damage off on the side. And UCal is about to do a ton. I mean, he's already leading the damage here.
Well, we'll see how this one's going to go. Solar Flare comes in as Summit has to flash away. Unstoppable Force just does absolutely nothing as UCal takes down the Rockman. The Infernal Drake's joining in on this fight now as effort will be going down. Blank picks up that kill. Croco secures the Drake. But at what cost is the question? Two members of Liiv SANDBOX limping away.
And things will just get worse and worse if they don't get it. This KT's comp is just going to do so much damage. Unbelievable. Void Staff here for UCal as well, just to guarantee even more damage. They're actually going to make a play around Baron because there's no vision here whatsoever for Liiv SANDBOX. They're slowly finding out about this, but this is going to be a long walk to the Baron pit. They might just be too late.
Yeah, well, we'll see whether this is going to be something they commit to. You can see Samira's walking from base, just not going to be there. Blank's going to secure the Baron. And Summit, he's gone down extraordinarily low. The headbutt pulp doesn't really work, but at least the Unstoppable Force gets some work done. But the Rock is going to immediately fall down. Effort now also, that will is looking far more breakable than it wanted to be. Blank off to the side, and Liiv SANDBOX are going to limp away.
There has to be something more.
Yeah, and also there has to be flashes on cooldown as well, otherwise the Malphite's not going to be able to do it. You can see Summit trying to frontline. He's pretty tanky, but there's still 30 seconds on this Infernal Drake, and the amount of pressure that this Baron buff can put on is going to be too much for Liiv SANDBOX. They can't stay in this river. They've completely given up lane control. The macro has just fallen out the window for Liiv SANDBOX in this
for that Drake. Or how do you come back into the game if you just say, well, we can't win that fight, let's just not fight it then? I mean, you're digging yourself a deeper hole, a bigger deficit. This is just going to be so incredible.
Yeah, and he's also a Lilia that does damage, you know? This isn't going to be the more supportive variety that we saw yesterday as Root. He's going down extraordinarily low. UCal just going to fight him out, and that is looking too difficult. Summit can possibly solo ult him, but decides instead to try and make his way out. Not really doing too much there as Hybrid just gets rid of the Malphite, and it feels like this game very close to over. Effort just doing his best to peel, but they're not going to be able to get any kills. They lose their Malphite and their AD carry.
Yeah.
And KT have complete run of the map.
We just mentioned it. How can you side lane if you're root? Camille's going to come kill you. I mean, it literally happened just moments later. He got away with it once when they were on the Infernal Drake, but he was not going to get away with it twice. This is not even contestable. In a minute 30 is actually almost, it's just too long. Like, Liiv SANDBOX can maybe get Drake vision advantage for the soul, but that's all they're going to get. As Root is just way too far out here. He thought maybe Effort could help him out. That's not a thresh. There's no Lantern. Let's see incorrectly as, oh god.
Hybrid just avoids the Emperor's Divide so beautifully with the supercharger. Oh my goodness. It's the last time we talk up Fate. It seemed to have not helped him. The cast curse is real. Oh no. 504. Does 504 405? Can he get an assist?
I'd have to Google
how
those,
they work,
man. I don't know. I only know 303, 404.
Well, this Baron's going down very low. Liiv SANDBOX look like they want to try and get a fight here. Collateral damage not going to quite make it work.
Oh, okay.
The Emperor's Divide that we wanted to see, but do they actually have enough items to fight this squad as Doran does have a big old shield? Zeus is in here as well. Yukal very, very healthy, and he just goes through. That death ray is so aptly named as he picks up a double now. Doran gets on in there. The triple kill for Yukal. He still had a stopwatch, ladies and gentlemen, and Blank comes back in just to steal away the kill. And that will be the ace, and that's going to be the game.
Yeah, that was a example of what happens if the engage goes well for Liiv SANDBOX. You know, if that had happened maybe 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, this could look like a different game. But unfortunately, even with the perfect engage, the damage output is way too high. Yukal didn't even have to use his Zhonya's until the end of the fight.
Yeah, the very, very end. And now, as the Nexus turrets are going down, Wolf, what is 706? What's that area code?
I think that might actually be Georgia.
That's a much bigger one. And Effort's going to come through, doesn't even get to die, as the Nexus is going to beat him.
Extra semi-global presence on the map. You can roam with the Nidalee. You can be, at least attempt to be a lot more oppressive against the Quinn in the top lane. Feels like deja vu in a lot of ways. Safe matchup mid that Yukel's up 12 CS on. Top lane, Doran crushing Summit, having a nice early lead. It's nothing to write home about, but a Drake fight here. Definitely vision advantage right now. Or positional advantage and vision advantage to Liiv SANDBOX. As Yukel's looking for a solo kill here. Summit's on his way.
Yep, and he's surrounded by 5 people. Flashes forward, Fate, one more auto, and he will be able to get first blood, but he can't get there. Everyone collapses, and Yukal maybe a little bit overexcited after his player of the game performance in game 1.
Yeah, just without having any vision in the river, and also knowing that he was missing in top, Summit was missing. From that alone, it was pretty overzealous. Still behind at the moment.
No! All of that 6 gold, as here's the flash solar flare, and that's another dead Yukal. Oh dear. He really...
On the
damn
turrets here, you can see it in favor of Liiv SANDBOX, but not all funneled the way they would have liked to have it.
Well, there's the Weaver's Wall, and this Crocodile is dead, guys. There's no real 2 ways about it. Not even much of a health bar to be sacrificed in order to get there, and they're going to be able to augment this with a turret. KT, great macro play as well as a good pick.
Yeah. The trade-off being the turret take here in the top lane. Actually going to grab this turret down here as well as Hybrid, looks like. A little bit slow on the drop for Liiv SANDBOX to deal with that. They're just not in position to do so. As Yukal again is trying.
This Dragon now available, and KT is starting it off. They don't want to give a Infernal away before starting to win some fights, as Doran with his Harrier just scouting the area. Teleport will come in as it's Croco that secures it once again. It's Soul Point as Effort dives on into the back line. Tower's going to fall down as well because of the Rift Herald, but Fate gets himself into the back of the fight. Hybrid having to flash, and now the Samira gets in amongst it, but Shockwave was held onto. Now Zeus gets forward as Yukal's trying to keep them alive, but he can't really do it. Croco now fighting the Orianna, but Yukal's very strong, and Doran off to the side trying to fight this one out as well, but it is still going to be a one fight for Liiv SANDBOX, and they got the Dragon. Yukal now going to be jumped on by Croco. He is going to survive. Flash forward once again, and once again, not able to do quite enough. As this fight is going on for so damn long. There's a blast cone here for Doran to use as he uses it to get rid of Summit, but he can't get rid of the kitty cat, who is going to die by the looks of things. Now Summit finds himself in an alcove, and he will be taken down. And I think that might even out the trade. So going to wrap around, head back to the mid lane. Killer Instinct available. They want to use it as this blue buff just exiting his home for a few moments.
Oh, this is...
There's now KT with some position, but in goes the Solar Flare. Only getting a bit of a slow onto UCal, who can now regain control. 3-man Shockwave right on the back line, but it hasn't actually locked anyone down. Heroic exit just to keep everyone alive. And the Weaver's Wall is going to split up the fight. Hybrid utilizing it now to lock down the Samira. And the entire bottom lane probably going to fall here. The Void Seeker, will it actually come out? The answer's no. But it looks like KT have done enough. That's a good knock up there onto Doran, but it's just not enough. The fight feels like it's already lost. Without the Samira, they're just not the same.
Nope, certainly not. Once the Samira's gone, I mean, look at the damage output in that fight. 376, taken out super early. And that was a beautiful fight from KT Rolster. I mean, I was about to say this is unwinnable, this fight for KT. They were out of position. There was a vision advantage for Liiv SANDBOX. I mean, the cards were stacked against them, but they fought beautifully. At Hybrid's flank, on the side, he waited till the last possible moment to engage, did a lot of poke damage, and then the Weaver's Wall comes in very, very late into the fight when Liiv SANDBOX have utilized most of their utility and Samira is no longer relevant. We're going to see an attempt to take this Baron away, but not going to be successful. But that was a beautiful fight from KT.
Really nicely done. That was a bit of a scary Baron because, of course, they don't have anyone that can really tank it as Solar Flare. It's going to stop Doran from getting onto his bird as Shockwave comes through onto Effort. I don't know why UCal did that. You didn't really have to, mate. You know, position there, but no one's going to engage on him, and he's pretty quick on Valor right now.
Again, a fight.
Area spots out.
KT has to win this fight once again. Like you said, that's the power of the Soul Point.
Yep, over and over. Every time it gets easier, I guess, because you do have yourself a an Infernal Drake, you know, augmenting your stats. But now KT in position. The Drake's going to reset, though. This is going to be a 50-50. As Hybrid's getting poked out, these spears are powerful. As into the backline, there's the Shockwave! Special cow delivery, I love it! But the Infernal Soul does go over to Liiv SANDBOX. The fight is not over yet, but maybe it's beginning because the Samira is gone. Croco is gone. The other Croco, he's about to leave as well. As now Fate, he's trying to get out of there. And Effort is as well, but no damage is left over. Blank? Okay, he's got his Zonyas. He'll be fine. As Fate, maybe not so much. He won't be fine, actually. He's dead, but still they're going to win out this fight. They're probably going to get themselves an ace. As Doran is going to chase Effort to the ends of the earth. That's the double kill for the Quinn, and this may just be the game.
They're trying to push for it here. The inhibitor is shoved down already, and they're just looking at finishing this game. I mean, they were potentially around.
Well, now at least, you know, there's a couple of inhibitors that have been broken. So if KT win any sort of fight from now on, the game is just done. But I thought there might have been a window. Weaver's Wall going to come through as Samira going to be able to block it off, as you can see right there. But in the back of the fight, you can see Croco just going to be taken down by Doran. He's so strong on this Quinn. As Effort also going to feel the pain. And now Zeus just frontlining. Summit trying to do the same thing, but he's in and he's out. The heroic entrance, not looking so heroic, just looking a bit silly. As now we've got the Samira trying to pop off, but she's too far behind. And that's the fight we were talking about. It came in pretty quickly, and KT will this time win the game.
She's too far behind. She's not in position. And KT trying to set up for that Baron take. They had the vision control there. Liiv SANDBOX felt the pressure. They walked in, but they didn't get to take the fight on their terms. And that's what happens if you're a Samira that's behind. You end up being the last one to come into a team fight where it's already over before you get to pop off. And that's the end of it. It's going to be KT stealing this win again in the late game. It's going to be a 2-0.
Yeah. And that's going to be the double from Doran as well, saving the Quinn. 9, 1, and 8 in the end of this one. I wasn't convinced of the Quinn pick at the beginning of the game. I don't know whether I still am.